Hey there, my lovelies, and welcome to my booktube channel, the Sassy Library Fox. My name is V, and today we're going to do something fun. Yes, it was often requested, and a lot of people wanted me to do this, and we all know that this channel is a democracy, so I decided to give in and to give you what you want. So, yes. You get a bookshelf tour from me. I hope you're as excited about this as I am, because I rarely get to show off my amazing books. So I'm really looking forward to give you a little tour of my bookshelves. And this is just another thing a lot of booktubers are doing. And I think it's pretty interesting to see the bookshelves of other booktubers. So this is probably going to be the most chaotic and crazy and, I don't know, random video I ever did. So please be with me and just join me on the freaky and fun ride, or hopefully fun ride. And well, before I continue to babble, I'll just try to show you my bookshelves. I don't know if I will be able to show you all of them, because I might have troubles to get some of the books because they are so up, but I will think of something, and I'm certain I will come up with some solutions to show you at least the biggest part of my bookish collection. I didn't count how many books I have, because it's actually a mixture of my books and my hobby's books. So I don't know, it must be at least 100, give or take. At least the last count was about 100. So that should come pretty close. And you don't even want to count in the books I have on my e-readers and Kindle. So I just leave it at the bookshelf tour. And this said, let's jump right into the shelves and do this. Okay, this is where the chaotic part comes, and I hope you'll enjoy my chaotic energy. This is going to be pretty random. Anyways, let's do this. Okay, so I'll just take the cam. So this is already turning out to be super chaotic because I actually accidentally touched the video button and it stopped. I hope this isn't going to be a Blair Witch Project. Dum 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 dum. Blair Witch Project number 3. Hopefully not. So where do I start? I think I might start down here, which isn't that interesting because those are the books of my hobby and me, or better, a mixture of both of our books. As you can see, there are a lot of travel books, and basically the places we visited, except of Australia. I still need to get to Australia. I hope you can see it on the video and that the lighting is good, because I think it might be pretty dark down here. Well, we went to London, Tenerife, Scandinavia, Canada, the USA, Miami. I traveled a lot. I love to travel, and before I got my kid and COVID times, I used to travel around the world very often. So here is also a manga series I enjoyed a lot, Time Stranger Kyoko. And that's a leftover of my teen years. I mean, I still read webcomics and mangas, but not as much as I did during my teens. So here is another shelf that belongs to my hobby and me. You can easily tell the books that belong to me. Oh my gosh, this is going Blair Witch Project again. You have White Oleander here. White Oleander is one of my favorite books. I read it as a teen and I was totally blown away by the writing style and by everything that was written in here. Then we have the Brothers Grimm. As someone who lives in Austria and speaks German, the Brothers Grimm are an important part. What are you doing here, Chest? Go to the side. And, well, there are a lot of German books. Gut gegen Nordwind is a German book. I gifted it to my hubby because that's basically how we got to know each other. And, of course, we also have a huge Brothers Grimm fairy tale book here. And my hubby and I are both pretty interested in history and in mythology, so you will find a lot of history and mythology books in here. And because he wants to get on this video, here is Chest. I usually don't like clowns, but my kid made that one and he's been my companion ever since. So yeah, that's actually kind of Blair Witch Project style. Anyway, let's get to the interesting part. My own bookshelves. Oh my gosh, I really need to get a steady hand. And here we are with Nevernight. Oops, my hand is getting in the way. So I will try to make this steady. Here we go with Nevernight, with God's Grave, Dark Dawn. I think I might just plug out the mic here because the mic makes it really, really extra hard to to hold that hand steady. So yes, we have Nevernight, God's Grave, Dark Dawn, Divergent, Insurgent, Elegiant, and the entire selection series. And I read all of those series already. I loved the Nevernight Chronicles. Divergent was great with the first book, but I wasn't an all too big fan of book 2 and 3, and the selection is some sort of guilty pleasure. Well, yes, the New Testament and humor is here. That's some German books. And I think you might have already seen this shelf on my videos. I got this for Christmas. It's a puzzle actually, and you can stick in your biros. And I really love it. I will put it down for the moment so that we can take a closer look at those books. And of course, there is an Exaltation of Lux, one of the books I often spoke about. And Chain of Gold. I still haven't read Chain of Gold, but I hope I will get to it soon. And of course, Call Down the Hawk by Maggie Stiefvater. The Starless Sea, Amanda Hocking. I don't know if you know this trilogy, but it is a fairy trilogy and I really enjoyed it when I read it. So I can recommend it if you want to read something light and fast. And here we go with Elsie Rosen's Camp. I'm planning to read this year. I just didn't get to it yet. Of course, 2 of my favorite books of Dan Brown are in here too. The Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons. I love those 2. I've read them multiple times. So yeah, that's another shelf that belongs mostly to my hobby. It has a lot of, let me put this book down so my hands are more steady. There are a lot of ship books and mythology books, and now it's getting, I don't know if you're interested in those kind of things. Now it will get pretty chaotic because I'll just put that back here, and I will have to, I don't know, climb to show you the books up here, or I'm stretching actually. Thank God I'm so tall. There is the Final Empire and the Brandon Sanderson series I still didn't get to read, but I'm planning to. And there is also War and Peace, which I still didn't read because I'm a little bit intimidated by the sheer size of it. And of course, The Name of the Rose, I really need to read that one. And 1,000 Places to See Before You Die. I actually visited a lot of those places. So where will we go next? That's another dark shelf because it's hidden behind the desk, so you might not be able to see it that well, but you can see that there are the Gilded Wolves, the Red Scrolls of Magic. I love every book Cassandra Clare ever wrote, so I basically have them all except of the new ones, but I'm sure I will get them too. And of course we have Twilight. I loved that series back then when it came out, so I got all 4 books, and I'm still glad that I have them. And here's another series I haven't read yet, The Fallen Kingdoms, but I have all 6 books, and I'm definitely planning to read those 6. And of course we have the picture of Dorian Gray and Winter Song at the side. I'll take this a little bit up here, and as you can see, there is The Name of the Wind. It's even the special edition for the 10th year anniversary. I don't know if you want to take a closer look at it. I'll just, I'm taking all the other books with it too. I'll just cut it out of the video. And I'm actually pretty proud of that one because it's a beautiful edition, and there are even pictures in it. I'll look if I can find one. It's such a beautiful edition, and of course I'm always skipping the parts with the pictures. Oh, here it goes. Little quota reading. I think that's so awesome. I think that's one of the most amazing books I have in those bookshelves because the drawings are so beautiful and this huge edition is just great. I love it. It's definitely one of my favorite books. There is The Language of Thorns, which is also a beautiful book with beautiful drawings. And of course you have the entire Wicked Lovely series in here with Ink Exchange, Fragile Eternity, Radiant Shadows, Dark Mercy. I love this series so much. Of course it had to get into my bookshelves. And as you can see, I'm a huge Sarah J. Maas fan as well. So you have the entire Throne of Glass series and the Assassin's Blade as well. And I love those book covers, and I'm so glad I got all of them in the same format, because with some books it happened that I didn't get the right format, and that's always something that's pretty upsetting. I don't know, I love it when they stand in the shelves and look great. And here is the A Darker Shade of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. Whew, you know, I'm getting pretty... It's getting pretty hot here, showing you those shelves. It's a workout. And that's a part of my bookshelves I'm very proud of. It's my LGBTQ plus shelf. And I decided, if I don't see an LGBTQ plus book at a bookstore or at the library, then I will have my own at home. So here we have The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, Red, White and Royal Blue, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and Carry On, Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and of course one of my favorite series, Captive Prince series, which is pretty controversial, but I love this series so much. So, well, tastes differ, and I'm okay with liking this series, even if a lot of people might disagree. But from book 2 on, it's really, really great. So, yeah. The Song of Achilles, one of my favorite books ever, and one book a lot of people already read my review about. And Girls of Paper and Fire, it's just the first book, and I definitely want to read it soon. So I think that is where my LGBTQ plus shelf ends, but there are a lot of books that have LGBTQ plus characters as well. I just didn't place them here because they're rather side characters. So I might have to, I don't know, rearrange my shelves soon, but for now that's okay. And of course I have A Court of Thorns and Roses, and the Clockwork Angel books, and the Infernal Devices series, which is one of my favorite Cassandra Clare series, as you all know. So let's, oh my gosh, I'm getting old. Let's go to a shelf that is more at my height. It's my Harry Potter shelf, and there are all 7 books. The first 5 books are in German, and I even have the 6th book twice because I bought it in German first and then decided I wanted to read it in English. So I basically started to read the Harry Potter books from book 6 on in English, and that's why I have such a mix in here. And of course there is another series that I hold dearly to my heart. It's the Raven Boys and the Raven Cycle series by Maggie Stiefvater. And you all know how much I love this series. I think I actually didn't talk about it on BookTube yet, but everyone who follows my Goodreads and my blog knows how much I love Maggie Stiefvater's books and how highly I think of the Raven Cycle series. And well, here is the Jennifer L. Armentrout series I'm currently reading, which is the reason why the first book is missing. So this is a great series about demons and wardens who are basically gargoyles. So if you haven't read that one already, it's one of those series that is pretty addictive, and you would love to just, I don't know, page through it. It's one of those series that gets you so hooked. So I can totally recommend it, and it's something different. I mean, there are demons and gargoyles, so it's a concept I didn't read about very often. So this said, let's head over here. Oh yeah, there is my The Sassy Library Fox shield. You see this on every video, and I got it from my bestie. I already said that she's very supportive of my channel and of my love for books, and she enjoys my recommendations. So she gave me this as a birthday present, and to make my channel even more, I don't know, booktube-ish. I will just put that down in another shelf so that we can see what's behind the shield. I'm pretty sure you never got a real glimpse at that one. So what do we have here? Well, we have Cassandra Clare's books, the entire Dark Artificial series. I still have to read, oh my god, they are so shiny. I still have to read the 3rd book in this series, The Queen of Air and Darkness. And here is the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard, which is another series I absolutely loved and adored, mainly because I'm such a huge Maven fan. And it's kind of tropey, but I still loved it. Maybe I just read it at the right time, I don't know. And well, here we go with Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. And as I already said, those two books don't match, so maybe one day I will get one of the versions that will match and will do another giveaway with the book that's left over. So watch out for that giveaway. And here we go with Jim Butcher's The Codex Alera series. And this is a high fantasy series I absolutely loved. I borrowed the first book from the library because I kind of stumbled upon it. And after reading the first book, I just couldn't stop and wanted to read all the others as well. So I bought the entire series and I never regretted it. And it's kind of funny because Jim Butcher is known for his Harry Dresden books. But if you ask me, this series is so much better. I mean, it's another genre and it goes more into the direction of high fantasy or epic fantasy, as I love to call it. And the Harry Dresden series is kind of urban fantasy. But I still don't know why this series is so underrated. So yes, highly recommended, the Codex Alera series by Jim Butcher. So, oh my gosh, how will I get up there? I think I might just need to get my chair. So, wait a second. I got a chair and now I can show you that shelf properly. So, here is the Shatter Me series, which I loved and adored, and Warner is one of the best book husbands ever. I'm sure Janet will agree with me. And of course I have all the 6 books and even the book in between. But I wasn't all too enthusiastic, or better, I didn't like the last book. Imagine Me was such a disappointment. But I actually liked Restore Me and Defy Me, and I absolutely loved the first trilogy. So they still hold a special place in my shelves. And of course we have the Grisha trilogy in here as well, and the Hunger Games. I read the Hunger Games as, I think, a young adult. So that was the perfect series for me. And yes, we have Lord of the Rings here, and The Hobbit and The Silmarillion. I read all of them. I think I read Lord of the Rings in 1 week, all 3 books, because I got them for Christmas when I was 13, and then I read them all in one go. The Silmarillion is one of those books I really had difficulties to get through, because on the one hand it's pretty interesting, but on the other hand it's also very tiring to read it and to get all that background info. And here is The Magicians series by Lev Grossman. I still haven't read that one. I heard a lot of good things about it, but I still need to read it. It's just been standing around in my shelves so far. And that's probably the last bookshelf I will be able to show you. It's where I placed the rather new books. Here is And I Darken by Kirsten White. And of course, the entire Holly Black series, The Cruel Prince. I love The Cruel Prince. The last book is still missing because I still need to write a review about it. So don't worry, I have the entire trilogy. I just didn't get to write my review yet. And here we have King of Scars. I recently bought Rules of Wolves and The Silver Serpent. So they are brand new. And of course, we have the Lunar Chronicles here as well, and Cress is missing because I'm currently reading it. And I don't know if you can see it. Here is the nice bookish lady that holds my books and sorts in other books into the shelves. I actually bought that one because I loved it so much. So what do we have here? That's my bookie jar, in which I place all of the books I want to read, and when I run out of ideas what to read, I always take a sheet out of this bookie jar and then I read what was written on it. So bookie jar is a great way to read books if you have no idea what you want to read. And yeah, here is a treasury of Irish fairy tale folk tales. I got that for Christmas and I still have to read it, but I love Irish folk tales and I can't wait to dive into this. I just need the time and the mood to read it. So what else do we have here? We have a lot of other books. Full Tilt and Blood Sisters. Blood Sisters was actually gifted to me by Joey and Ruth. They are friends of mine and he's my pen friend. We have started to write letters to each other and he's one of the authors I'm really close to. And if you see this, Joey, I'm so sorry I didn't answer to your last letter yet, but life is crazy, so I will definitely write you a letter soon. Just hang in there. Well, there are a lot of German books. Brothers Grimm, Aquarius. If you didn't know it already, I am an Aquarius, so I got a book gifted. And I actually got that one since I was 8. I bought it in Greece and I've kept it ever since. So what else? Yeah, Janet Ivanovich books, they are hilarious. I love them. Oh my, I just realized that I forgot to give my bestie the air. She borrowed me the book and she was here recently and I said she could take it with her and I just realized that I forgot to give it back to her. So that's typically me. Sorry, I will give it to you next time we see each other. And yes, those are no books, but my hubby is a huge fan of StarCraft and he played all the games. So ignore that one. And yeah, there's a Yo-Yo Moyes book my aunt gave me to read and I will have to give her that one back too. So, well, that was it with my bookshelf tour. So I don't know about you, but for me this bookshelf tour was actually pretty exhausting. I had to climb my chair to show you the books that are up in the shelves, so I hope you appreciate me doing a workout. And I'm sorry if my hands weren't all that steady and if this turned out to be Blair Witch Project number 3. So I'm really sorry about that. But I gave my best. And I still hope you enjoyed to get this tour and maybe I will go for another bookshelf tour once I have a bigger shelf and once I get more books. You can always hope and dream. I probably count the books now because I'm pretty curious and I'll make sure to write it down in the description. So if you want to have some fun and want to guess, you can write your guess into the comments and then look it up in the video description. I'm really curious how many books you think I have. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed my bookshelf tour and there's nothing left to say except of take care, stay healthy and safe, and see you around the next time. you get a finger heart, and bye.